Hi everyone. Let me know if you can hear me okay. Just send me a message below if you can hear me. I'm gonna pull up my notes. I'm super excited to be here today for day one of the Elevate Your Coaching Sessions Challenge. I've been talking about this and promoting it for probably about 3 weeks. I just got really excited about it, but I had some traveling planned and I wanted to make the content really good for you, so I didn't want to just rush it. I just wanted to, get some time to put it all together. So I'm super excited to be here. So if you can hear me right now, just give me an emoji, just post below that you can hear me okay. Really important that that is all working. I see 3 comments, so let's see. And I cannot read the comments for some reason, so let's see if it will work. So just write me a comment if you can hear me okay. And so if you are new here or if you have not signed up for the challenge, hi guys, thanks for joining. Thanks for all the hellos and all the smileys. If you are new here and you do not know what we're doing, this is the Elevate Your Coaching Sessions Challenge. So this is perfect for you if you're a coach, a healer, a practitioner, or you work with clients one-on-one and you want to, okay, I can see myself live, so this is good. Let me see if some people on Facebook, let me know if you can hear me, okay? Because I'm recording this and I want to make sure that it goes through. So I actually have a lot of notes. I am not rehearsed, but I have a ton of notes. Some people on, okay, cool, you guys can hear me. Okay, great. So I have a lot of notes. I'm really excited. This is really important stuff. When I started learning about mindset work and I started learning about NLP, Kind K can hear me. So this is good. You guys can hear me on Instagram. Just making sure you can hear me on Facebook too. When I started learning about NLP, my life completely changed. When I started learning really some of the deep concepts of the subconscious mind that I'm going to share with you, my life completely changed. And I went from learning about it just to help my clients to being like, oh my God, the whole world needs to know this. Like, if I had known this when I was in elementary school, my life would be completely different. Guys, my whole life, I grew up super shy, not confident, low self-esteem, never feeling good enough. And just knowing some of the concepts that I know now about the subconscious life, my life would have completely changed. I would have been able to manifest so much quicker. I would have loved myself on a much deeper level. I would have created more of an impact earlier, but I'm so happy and grateful that I know this stuff now, and I'm so happy and grateful that I can share it with you. So if you are here and you are a coach, a healer, a practitioner, a light worker, a game changer, comment below and let me know what you are, because I want to know who I'm talking to today, and I am really going to tailor the content specifically for you in a way that's going to help you the best. Also, ask as many questions as you want as we go, and I will answer all the questions at the end, or answer as many questions as I can at the end. And to make this extra fun, I'm doing a giveaway for the 5-day challenge. So at the end of the 5 days, I'm going to pick the person who has shown up the most, so has liked and commented and engaged and shared and helped, and also did the homework. And the only way that you're going to be able to do the homework and to have comments where I can read them is to make sure that you sign up at yesapply.co/elevate and you go through the daily homework and you answer it in the comments of the live. So if you have not done that already, head to yesapply.co/elevate. So I have some notes, so don't mind me if it looks like I'm reading a little bit. Usually for lives or public speaking, I don't need to read, but because I am just jam-packing this with so much information and I didn't want to miss anything, I just have it all here, okay? So what we're going to be covering today, so we're going to uncover the foundational secrets of the subconscious mind, your belief system. So why do you believe what it is that you believe? Why do you believe that maybe you're not good enough, or that everyone else can be successful but for some reason you can't? Or why do you believe that money is really hard to make? Or why do you believe that you're not techie? I can't tell you how many people say they're not techie, and it's because they just believe they're not techie, and so that belief becomes true. And once you shift that belief, all of a sudden they're, blazing through on their Facebook lives and making their websites and growing their coaching business and making money, right? So those beliefs can really stop you. So we're going to talk about subconscious mind, your belief systems, your internal filters. And this is going to be important for you as the coach, the influencer, the expert, And it's also going to be really important for your clients, because when you know this stuff, when you know how to work with people on a subconscious level, then you can create those transformations so much quicker. And I saw this in my own business, because transformations that used to have to take months started to take a single session, okay, with some of the stuff that you're going to learn this week. Today is the foundation, but you need to know the foundation in order to get to the next part, okay? So we're going to talk about why people have repeating patterns. So if you find yourself continuing to maybe work at a similar job where you have a boss that's mean to you, or you keep getting into relationships where the person treats you like crap, it's because you have a repeating pattern, and you need to figure out what that is so you can break that pattern and start something new. We're going to talk about why manifestation works and how you can get it to work a lot faster. So if I've talked about some concepts that you've never heard about before, and you think that there's someone in your life who could benefit from it, hit the share button. I'd really appreciate if you help me get this message out to more people, because I really think that it's important that people know how to use their mind. Okay, like how is it that in school we learn the angles of an isosceles triangle, and we learn all the stuff that we never use, but we don't learn how to get in control of our own emotions or get in control of our mind? It's absolutely crazy. So first I want to start off by talking about why does everyone need a coach? Okay, I'm a real believer that everybody needs a coach, because we've been programmed our whole lives to think that we're not good enough, right? We've been programmed by every single advertisement that tells us that we need a new stick of mascara to be pretty enough, or that we need, a certain sports drink to run faster, to be slimmer, or whatever, right? From the very beginning, we've been programmed to think we're not good enough. If you're like me and you're a woman and you watch Disney movies, those Disney movies, you might think that they're cute, cartoony movies. There's metaphors hidden deep inside of those, and those metaphors program our young minds when they're in the imprint phase to believe that we need essentially a man to be happy, right? Every single Disney movie has the exact same pattern that gets imprinted into our head, that we need to find a guy, we need to overcome some hurdle to find the guy, and then once we have him, we live happily ever after. So that is one example of programming that happens in our lives. If you grew up with a mom that always says, oh, I need to lose 10 pounds, and she keeps repeating it like an affirmation, hello, that is programming that is telling you as an adult to A, subconsciously weigh an extra 10 pounds, and then A, feel guilt and shame and stress to need to lose it, okay? That is some of the programming. We've been programmed to play small and to dim our light. When we're kids, a lot of parents or teachers tell us, shh, don't talk, right? Don't speak before being spoken to. We take those things into our adulthood and dim our light and stay quiet, right? If you've been wondering why you're afraid, if you're a coach, if you've been wondering why you're afraid to do a webinar, or why you're afraid to go live, or why you're afraid to do public speaking, it's not your fault. It's because from a young age, you've been told, like, shh, be quiet, like the adults are speaking. And so now, even though you're an adult, even though you have a very important message to share, you feel like you are not allowed to share what it is you have to share. Okay, we've also been programmed to think that we need external circumstances to feel good enough. So we've been programmed to think that our opinion of ourselves isn't good enough, that we need a teacher or a parent or a coach or whatever to tell us that we're good enough, right? And how we've been programmed in that way is from school, right? So I remember times in school where I would make an art project or whatever, and I'd be like, oh my God, this is amazing. And then my teacher would mark it as a C or a D. That's actually why, I don't know if anyone's watching here who dropped out of university like I did, but that is why I left university when I did, because I was like, I don't really want to pay $50,000 to essentially regurgitate back a textbook, because I started to pick up on the fact that whenever I was creative on a report, I would get like a C or a D, whenever I was creative on a report and I tried to actually problem solve and think of a good solution, I would get a C or a D, but whenever I would just, literally if I was in a rush, I was having a late night, I would regurgitate back the textbook, I'd get an A. And I was like, I don't really want to pay $40,000 that I don't have to do this. And some people's schooling is a lot more expensive. For me, it was politics and governance. So, okay, so I can see some comments on the Facebook. So if you guys are here on Facebook, say hello, let me know that you're here. And also if you're a coach, a healer, a practitioner, whatever it is that you are, let me know, because I'm going to be catering today for you specifically. And so I want to know who's here hanging out with me. Okay, so these are some of the things that we've been programmed to think. And this is why everyone needs a coach, because coaches help people stop looking outside for the answers and look inside where your real answers are going to happen. And also, if you're a coach, there's never been a better time, because if you've noticed, corporations are starting to pay thousands of dollars to hire coaches to come in to coach their team, coach their staff, to get more success. And also, even just the regular average person is starting to see why it is that they need a coach, right? And what we do is we help the average person because we help them stay accountable, okay? How many of you have someone in your life who every single week says, hey, that thing that you said you were going to do last week, did you actually do it? Most people don't. I remember wanting to talk about my goals to my friends or, people in my life, and people were like, I don't want to talk about goals, right? So sometimes people are embarrassed that they have big dreams. And so the positive thing about having a coach is you have someone that holds a massive space for you, that sees you not where you currently are, but sees you at the potential that you can get to. That's why it's important to have a coach. And what we do, if you're a good coach or you're a good practitioner or motivator, is we make sure, by working with a client, we make sure that they never get to 60, 70, 80 years old and look back on their life and ask themselves, what if I had tried, right? And that's exactly why I started, not what, the whole reason why I started my business, but a big reason why I started my business is because I never wanted to look back and say, well, what if I had tried, right? Like, what if I had gone after that thing? I just went for it, right? I didn't even know that coaching existed. I had to self-motivate myself, and I had to kind of do a lot of things on my own, and it was kind of a bit of a lonely road because I didn't have anyone to bounce ideas off of when I first started. I kind of had to start in the industry, and then I met a whole bunch of people who related to me, okay? So one thing that I want you to remember, thank you, Roberta. Roberta says, love this. I appreciate you. So one thing I want you to remember, Kelly is saying, can't hear me. Can anyone else tell me if you can hear me? Because that would suck if I was talking this whole time and you couldn't hear me. So let me know if you can hear me on Facebook. I would 1,000% appreciate that, so I can figure that out. And so I'm going to keep going for you guys on Instagram. By the way, Instagram, if my phone dies, just head over to Facebook. That's where I'm hanging out, and that's where it's going to be recorded. So one thing I want you to remember is that you are given your mind to use, not use you. Chudney hears me. Thank you, Chudney. Remember that. You are given your mind to use, not use you. But how many of us let our minds use us? I can't tell you how many times my mind says, you can't do that. You're not good enough. Don't apply for that job. Don't ask for that raise. Don't ask for that thing that you want. Don't go after. Don't do that launch. Don't sell that thing at that high price. Like, so often your mind uses you. It creates fake rules and says that you can't break them. But remember that you create the rules. Your whole universe revolves around you. There's people breaking the rules every single day. You get to create your own rules as long as you're not hurting anyone, right? So anytime you have a thought that comes into your head that doesn't support you, doesn't support where you want to go, you want to ask your thought, am I controlling this thought, or is this thought controlling me? And what I want you to take away from this, hopefully you write it down, is that you are given your mind to use, not to use you. So use it to your advantage. And today I'm going to show you how you can use your mind to your advantage using the power of your subconscious mind. Because the majority of people, when they try to change their life, when they try to set goals, they try to set it consciously. And when you're setting your goals consciously, that's only about 0.004% of the power of your mind. Okay, so that's why so many people set New Year's resolutions and then 2 weeks in they fail because they're trying to set it consciously. They're like, I'm gonna go to the gym, I'm gonna do it. But because it's conscious and because our conscious mind can only do so little, as soon as we get stressed or overwhelmed or there's a date or there's a deadline, we forget that thing consciously. And that's why it's important to get it into your subconscious mind. I'm gonna give you a little bit of a shortcut. Belief is good to have. I truly believe in belief. But that's part of the short term, okay? If you want your goals, the outcomes, the thing that you want to create to be long-term, to be deep on a subconscious level, get it into your being. Okay, become that person. When you are that person, that goal that you're setting, that thing that you want to achieve, that's a long-term thing. Because instead of trying to force it and think about it like, oh yeah, I gotta eat healthy. Oh my God, I gotta go to the gym. Oh my God, I need to make sure I post this live today. You don't have to think about it anymore because you just are that person. You are that person that actually eats healthy. You are that person that, of course, you drink 3 liters of water a day or whatever that goal is. Or, of course, you show up and you go live. Or, of course, you create content for your business because that's who you are. Guys, before I was ever making money with Yes Supply, before I was ever a coach, I was introducing myself as the founder of Yes Supply. I was introducing myself as the founder of a women's empowerment platform. You need to start to make that shift in your identity. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit about that today, okay? And as a coach or as a practitioner or as a healer, that's what we're also helping our clients to do. Okay, so we're understanding what it is that our clients want to accomplish, who it is that they want to become, and what you want to do from the very beginning is you want to start to see them as that person. Don't see them as they were, see them as that person that they are. Hold them accountable to that goal, right? I always see in my life, recurring, that people will do exactly what you expect them to do, right? And so sometimes it works in a negative way because you have that boss or you have that person that you used to work with. There's a lighter in my screen. You have that person that you used to work with and they were mean to you one day, and so you expect for them to be mean to you and you're putting out that negative energy, and of course they continue to perpetuate that. But what if you expected that they would be nice to you? You would actually be shifting that energy. You'd be shifting the outcome, and all of a sudden it'd be so much easier for them to fill in that space that you're holding for them. And the exact same thing happens with your clients. When you see them at their highest potential, you're actually holding out that massive space for them to fit into them. So when you talk to them, you say, yeah, you can totally do this. You can totally accomplish the thing that we lined out in your action plan. You're holding that space for them to accomplish it. Okay? Now, also remember, and I'm going to get a little bit into some of the energetic stuff because I'm a firm believer in that. I think mind is very powerful, but the energy that you're holding to, whatever's in your energy field, that's what's actually going to attract to you. So what I also want you to remember is that your mind, it works almost like a radio station. Some of you guys are going to be like, what are you talking about, Reese? But it works like a radio station. So no matter where you are right now, some of you guys are in Europe. Hopefully you don't get me with the GDPR. Some of you guys are in the States. Some of you guys are like, who knows where you are. But you're seeing me, right? And I'm not in front of you. And you know, you might not even have a internet plugged into the wall. So my picture is going through waves in the sky and somehow getting to you, right? Or if you're super old school and you listen to the radio, I don't know anyone who listens to the radio anymore, but if you're super old school and you listen to the radio, there's a Rihanna song kind of just flowing through you. And if you turn your radio to that rate frequency, you're going to be able to hear it, right? And what I want you to understand right now is that your mind has an energetic pulse that goes out. Your heart has an energetic pulse that goes out. And so whatever you're thinking about, whatever you're focusing on, whatever you're feeling, you're actually sending an energetic pulse out that's going to tell the universe what signal you're sending out, and that's going to mirror right back to you. Okay, so I want you to know that for yourself as a coach. I'm sure what you want to do is you want to attract abundance, you want to attract clients, you want to be able to share your message, you want to be able to help people, you want to accomplish your big goals. So what I want you to do is start to only focus on the frequency that you want out there, right? Think of your mind, think of the pictures that you're putting in your mind as a radio signal, right? Focus on it. Don't allow what you don't want. Don't allow that song that you hate to play on repeat in your head. Only allow the song that you love to play on repeat in your head, and only allow the feelings that come from that coming true to go on repeat in your heart. And you're going to be sending out an energetic signal that you're going to see come back to you. And I've seen it time and time again where I am holding a certain energetic frequency of what I want, what I desire, not being stressed about it, not being like, oh my God, I want it, but just knowing that it's coming to me, just thinking about it and enjoying it and expecting it. And I see it come into my life just like that, easier than anything. Literally have manifested money out of thin air just by repeating to myself, I'm going to manifest money out of thin air, right down to the dollar. Honestly, it's really cool stuff. So I'm kind of going on a tangent right now. Someone from my own page liked what? That's weird. Someone from my own page sent me an emoji, but anyway, we're not going to get into that right now. So we, as coaches, we want to help our clients be that person that helps magical things manifest. By the way, guys, did I tell you? So at the end of this week, side note, at the end of this week, I'm going to be giving away a prize valued at $100 to the person who shows up, who comments the most. So make sure you're on my Facebook commenting the most. And the prize is you're going to get one of these cool little Yes Supply mugs, whatever mug you want. You're going to get a Selenite Crystal. I don't think this is the exact one. You're going to get a Selenite Crystal that I actually got while I was in Sedona. And Selenite's really cool because if you're an empath, you attract, so you absorb a lot of energy. It actually helps you to not do that. And based on whatever your goal is, based on what you're trying to achieve, I'm going to send you my book recommendation. So I'm not just going to send you any old book. I'm going to find out what is it that you want, and I'm going to send you a book recommendation based on that because I read a lot of books, okay? So just fun little side notes. Make sure to show up, make sure to comment, make sure to leave some emojis, and make sure that's on Facebook because at the end of the week, hi Naida, at the end of the week I can't really check the comments on Instagram. I can only check them on the Facebook, and you have to do the homework as well, and the homework is great, so you're going to love it. Okay, so I have a lot to talk about, and we are already 26 minutes in. Don't you love that? Okay, so before I move on, what I was just talking about, you essentially, whatever you're thinking about, whatever you're feeling, that is planting a seed. Whatever you're thinking about, you're planting a seed, and the more that you think about it, the more that you hold that energy, the more that you hold that space, you water it and you send it out into the universe. And the more that you do that, you actually get that back, okay? So remember, as a coach, the world needs more people like you who want to change it. So it's okay for you to take up space. I want you to remove that negative programming that said that you have to play small. What the world actually needs is for the people who have been playing small, who have a warm heart, who are empaths, who want to raise the vibration of the planet, who want to change the world. What we actually need is more of those people to stand up and to show up and to help others, okay? And that's why coaching is that's why it's such an amazing time right now, because this coaching bubble is just starting to grow. And it reminds me of like 10 years ago when people started being bloggers and people were like, what is a blogger? Like, how are they going to make money? Like, what is that? And now some people are bloggers, and bloggers are making a ton of money. And I feel like it's the exact same thing with the coaching industry. Right now, you might be just getting into the coaching industry. You might be new to it. And that's okay, because if you're one of the new ones now, that means in a couple of years when it's this huge thing, you're going to be at the forefront of the industry. You're going to be leading the pack. You're going to be teaching other people how to make money from changing lives. You're going to be teaching other people the techniques to heal and to help their own lives and to overcome hardships. And most of the negative things that are happening in the world, and most of the negative things that happen in our own bodies, stress, anxiety, disease, it happens from suppressed emotions, and we can help people battle that. So hi everyone who is joining. Let me know where you're coming in from, and let me know what kind of coach you are. I'm super excited to hear about that. So I haven't even really gotten into the main techniques yet. Cool. So language of the mind. So let's talk about this. Let's talk about the language of the mind. I feel like I look better on Instagram than I do on Facebook. Let me see if I can just shift myself a bit. Okay, so let's talk about language of the mind. So, as a coach, one thing that it's really important for you to know, from Edmonton, I'm in Canada too. One thing that's really important for you to know is that the mind sees in pictures, okay? The mind sees in pictures. So when you're working with your clients, what you want to help them do is visualize and see the outcomes that you're helping them achieve, okay? The reason is because, before words existed, before language existed, we just had visuals. And most of our decisions, most of the things that we do, most of the time when we accomplish goals, it happens on such a subconscious level. It happens through pictures. So if you want to become a really strong coach, you want to help your clients on a deep level, don't just tell them what to do, don't just communicate with words, but also help them see in pictures. And so you can do that by helping them with visualization, helping them see the outcome, helping them feel the outcome. When they have a certain goal that they want to accomplish, help them see themselves in it, help them see themselves accomplishing that goal, help them imagine what it would feel like to open up their online banking and see all the money that they want. Help them imagine what it would feel like if they were standing on stage to a group full of people and how amazing that would feel for them to accomplish that goal. Help them see it in their mind. And what you'll actually know if you look into it is a lot of athletes, thanks for all the hearts, guys, a lot of athletes, a lot of top performers, they actually use visualization to increase their performance. So a lot of athletes, they'll practice, but then also they'll go home or they'll go wherever and they will visualize themselves getting the goal. They'll visualize themselves winning the championship, because the more time you do something in your mind, the more time you practice it in your mind, the better it's going to be when you do it in real life. And this is actually something that I did when I was first starting off selling, right? I was really nervous about selling. Actually, the girls in my group coaching program, they are just at the point right now where they're starting to sell their services, right? So of course, it's always nerve-wracking when you first start selling. And so what I used to do is I used to close my eyes and I used to visualize myself selling and having the person on the other end of the phone being like, oh my God, I'm so excited to sign up and work with you, right? And the more that you go over it again and again in your mind, the more it becomes real and the more it feels like you've already done it. And that way you can remove the anxiety, remove the fear, because you've already done it so many times. And your subconscious mind actually doesn't know the difference between you physically doing something or you visualizing it in your mind. So if there's something that you want to accomplish or something that you want to do, visualize yourself doing it. See it in your mind over and over again. And then when you have to do it in your physical reality, it's going to be so much easier. It's going to feel like you've already been there before. Okay, so that's a great tool for you. It's also a great tool to help your clients with, okay? So use that to your advantage. And also tune into the language of your clients. So one thing that we learn in NLP is, saying, I switched from Insta to Facebook. I look awesome on both. Thank you. You're so sweet. Chudney's from Miami. Oh my God. Somehow, oh my God, my alarm just went off and it was Ariana Grande. I love her new song. Okay, cool. So funny. Okay, Chudney is from Miami, and I didn't know that. That's really cool. I haven't been to Miami. Okay, so let's keep going. So what was I saying? So the language of the mind. So we want to help our clients think in pictures. And then one thing that I learned in NLP, which is neuro-linguistic programming, if you're wondering what that is that different people, Nida's from Miami too, how cool. Different people actually, their minds sort of speak in a different language. So one thing that you can do to pick up on your clients in a deeper way, to help them in a deeper way, is to also pick up on if they are visual, if they're auditory, if they're kinesthetic. So when you're talking to them, if they say, oh, I feel like this, I feel like that, they're probably kinesthetic. They probably feel a lot of different things. I'm actually kinesthetic, so I feel like my experience of the world, I feel it. I feel like I feel people, like I feel their energy before I even see them, right? When I'm working with clients too, I do use a lot of energy. So when I'm doing different techniques with my clients, I can actually feel, when we bring up a negative emotion, we bring up a past trauma, I can actually feel that, and it's good because it helps me work with it and figure out what they're going through and how deep that pain is or whatever. And also I can feel when that negative emotion or whatever it is released. So I am definitely a feeler, but different people have different ways of seeing the world and different language that their mind communicates with the world. So if you're working with their clients and you notice that they say, I see a lot, like, oh, I can see how you can say that, or yeah, I see that. They're a visual person. And so when you're connecting with them, try and use words that really illustrate it in a visual way. Or they might be an auditory person, right? So they might say, oh yeah, I totally hear what you're saying. Yeah, I hear that. I'm listening to you, right? They're more of a auditory person. And so you want to communicate in those ways. So different people have different sort of language of their mind. And if you want to become a better coach and you want to be able to really talk to that person on a deeper level, try to listen in to the type of language that their mind uses and then communicate with them in that way. Okay, so by the way, guys, if you are a coach, an NLP practitioner, a hypnotherapist, a healer, practitioner, let me know what you are. Oops, I flipped my camera. Let me know what you are. I want to know who's here hanging out with me and who is talking to me. Okay, so the next principle that I want to talk to you about, the next thing that I want to talk to you about is that your body is like a robot and it reacts to whatever your mind is feeding it. And so what I'm going to share with you is a really cool little experiment that we learn when we learn hypnosis, okay? So essentially, your body is like a robot and it will do whatever it is that you tell it to do, which is why it is so important to make sure that you have the right thoughts happening in your subconscious mind, because that's going to communicate right into every single thing that you do. So what I'm going to get you to do is just, if you close your eyes and you just imagine yourself just sitting down in your house, and as your eyes are closed, just imagine yourself walking over to the fridge, opening up the fridge door, grabbing an ice cold lemon from the fridge, just pretend there's a lemon in there, putting it on the counter, grabbing your favorite knife and cutting through it, and then imagine picking up that slice of lemon and bringing it to your mouth and taking a big bite. And I know for me, my mouth started to water. So let me know if you're watching this and your mouth started to water through doing that too. Even though we both consciously knew that there was no lemon, our body reacts like a robot to whatever the mind feeds it. So even though I was whipping through this exercise, I actually did it way faster than I usually do. My mouth actually just still started to water when I walked through that with you. And your mind reacts in a chemical reaction to pretty much everything that you do. So for example, if you're in a negative mood, but you want to feel better, we all know that if you feel good, you smile. The cool thing is that your mind works in a psychocybernetic process. So what you can also do if you want to feel better is smile. And if you hold that smile for 16 seconds, Chudney saying her mouth water, Kind K saying her mouth water, McCoy Healing Hands is saying her mouth water, Nada said, this is Roberta wants a lemon now, you guys are so cute. So anyway, going back to feeling happy. So if you're not feeling happy, but you want to feel happy, all you have to do, it's so crazy. All you have to do is just go like this, smile for 16 seconds. And what happens is it triggers the muscles in your face, and that sends a message to your brain that says, oh, she's smiling. She must be happy, right? How cool is that? Sweet Nature Body sending me lemon emojis. You guys are so cute. I love you so much. Hi, Angela. Thanks for joining. Yeah, so literally your mind reacts to your body and your body reacts to your mind in a psychocybernetic process. And so if you're feeding your mind something specific, if you're telling your mind, yep, you know what? I'm super confident standing on stage. Your body's going to react and you're going to be confident standing on stage. And that's why when I first started public speaking, even though I was shaking my boots, well, I felt like I was shaking my boots, everyone thought that I was super confident, okay? And the same thing can work for you. So use this to read your clients, right? Use this to read people, maybe even in your sales calls or at your job, right? Because whatever's happening in their mind, it is going to show up in their physiology. And the better that you're tuned into it, the better coach you're going to be, and the better salesperson you're going to be, and the more confident you're going to be. Another great thing to look out for is people's intonation in their voice. So if you're talking to someone and they talk like this, and it always seems like they're asking a question, then what they're actually saying is they're not really that sure about anything that's going on, right? So you can pick that up from your clients. If you're working with a client and you know that they want to increase their confidence, but they keep talking like that, then you know that you got a little bit of work to do in the confidence aspect, because even though they might be saying, yeah, I do feel a lot more confident, they don't actually feel it, because you can pick that up in their voice. You'll know that they feel confident when they say, yep, I'm feeling a lot more confident. earth and water is saying, what are we using? What do you mean? We're using NLP, we're using hypnotherapy, we're using the power of our subconscious mind. Cool. So the next part I want to talk to you about is your internal programs. And this is really cool. So have you ever wondered why it is that you see the world the way that you see the world? Have you ever wondered why it is that the same patterns keep repeating or happening in your life? Have you ever wondered why it is that maybe you feel negative in certain situations, or money feels really hard for you, or starting your business feels really hard for you, or you feel like you're not techie, or no matter how hard you try, you just can't seem to make it to the gym, whatever that is? Have you ever wondered why? The reason is because of your internal filters. Okay, so this is something really cool. Lovely little design code is asking, we're doing it to ourselves. Yes. Congratulations. Yep, 100%. So actually, what I'm going to share with you about is our internal filters, our internal programs. So like I was saying at the beginning of this live stream, we're all programmed. We're programmed by TV, we're programmed by the media, we're programmed by our teachers, we're programmed by our parents. And from ages 0 to 7 is when we mainly get programmed, okay? Those are the times of our lives when our conscious mind doesn't really exist. And so we're just kind of like our subconscious mind is wide open to whatever we feed it. And sometimes we make connections that don't actually make logical sense. I worked with a client in the past who thought that because she was overweight, which she actually wasn't even overweight, but she said because she's overweight, she couldn't have what she wanted. That actually makes no sense. There's lots of people in the world who do weigh more and do have everything that they want and are incredibly successful. But because of something that happened when she was a child, she made that connection, right? Sometimes we believe that, like, if we don't, oh my gosh, my freaking alarm keeps going off. Sometimes we believe that, yes, you did miss the start, Yoshi Motes, but you can go to Facebook and you can watch the replay later. Okay? So sometimes we believe things that don't actually make the right connection, and it's because we were programmed like that from the start. And I'm just going to pause this really quickly and turn off my Ariana Grande alarm so it stops going off. Hopefully it comes back. I'm going to give it a second. Okay. So, let me know if you guys can hear me. Thanks, Ariana. Okay, so internal filters. So these are some of the internal filters. Okay, good, we're back. Hello, guys. Just had to turn off my alarm. So some of the so what happens is whenever we get, I kept freezing on Instagram, so now I'm on Facebook. Hi, Naida, thanks for joining us on Facebook. So some of the internal filters so actually let me start it differently. So essentially what happens is whatever you believe on the inside is what you're going to see reflected in your world on the outside. Okay? So if you believe deep down that you're not good enough, or your clients, if they believe deep down that they're not good enough, then when they go out into the world, their reticular activating system is going to be turned on to look for all the reasons why they're not good enough, right? So you and your friend who is confident could be in the exact same situation, and the confident friend could be like, that was a cool situation, whatever. And the person who doesn't think that they're good enough is going to subconsciously look for all the reasons that point out why they're not good enough. So they're going to be in the exact same situation, and they're going to be like, oh, the barista didn't ask me what size of coffee that I want. He probably doesn't think that I'm important. Or he probably thinks that I look poor and homeless and I can't afford you're literally, if you believe that you're not good enough, you're going to look for all the reasons that confirm that, even if it's not true, right? You're going to not apply for a job that you technically could have because you're like, oh, what's the point in applying for a job? I'm not good enough for the job, right? So this is why we need to work with people on a subconscious level, because if your subconscious mind is not in line with your goals, is not in line with what you want to achieve, then no matter what you do when you go into the world, you're going to not see the opportunities. You're going to not see the possibilities. So what happens is that every moment there's about 2 million bits of information. So even though right now, for example, you're paying attention to me on Instagram, you're paying attention to me on Facebook, and you hear my voice, that is just one, like pretty much 126 bits of information, okay? You paying attention to me right now is just 126 bits of information. But there are two, and the reason why you only hear that right now is because your brain would get overwhelmed if it paid attention to all the information that's happening to you right now. But there's 2 million bits of information happening right now. So even though you are paying attention to my voice, right now, if you were to kind of open up your awareness, you might hear a fan in the background or a car driving by. You might hear the sound of your fridge. You might hear your wall creaking. You might hear your neighbor playing music, whatever it is. You might actually notice that the lights are on, or you might actually notice like the coffee cup on your desk or whatever, right? It's because there's so much information happening at once that our minds can only pick up on a very small amount of information. And all of you guys who are watching, even though I'm saying the exact same thing, you're all picking up on different things, right? One of you guys might be picking up on some of this to use it as a coach. Some of you might be picking up on it to use it as a healer. Some of you might be picking it up to use it for yourself. Some of you guys might be thinking like, oh, I could never do this. Some of you guys might be like, oh my God, I am so excited she's telling me that, right? Because you all have different internal programs and you're all taking the exact same words that I'm saying and interpreting them differently, okay? And so what happens is when all this information comes in, this 2 million bits of information, you are going to delete some information, right? So it's just not even going to exist. So that's what happens when we're looking for our phone everywhere and we're holding it. We're looking for our glasses everywhere and they're on our head. It's because we've deleted information. You're either going to delete information, you're going to distort information. So you're going to think, this happened to me the other day. I was watching a show and the guy's name was Glenn and I kept thinking that he was saying Troy. I don't know why, but my brain was distorting information. Or you're going to generalize it. So you're going to kind of take it in, but you're going to just kind of put it in the blur of everything else. Chudney's saying, I'm at graduation waiting for it to start, so that keeps happening to me right now. Exactly. I'm talking about the bits of information. So you're going to delete, distort, or generalize all this information that's coming in, and based on whatever is going on in your head, that's how you're going to create your internal picture. Remember how I told you that you think in picture? That's how you're creating your internal picture. And the picture is going to come for you based on who you think you are, based on what you believe, if you believe you're good enough, if you believe you're not good enough, based on your decisions, based on your mood, based on what time of day it is, right? That's what's going to change it. That's going to change how you feel. And based on how you feel, that's going to change how you behave. And of course, based on how you behave, that's going to change your results. So what we want to do as coaches, and of course for ourselves, is we want to make sure that we're priming our internal representations to support us in the best way, so we believe the best things about ourselves, so that we have a positive identity that supports us. If we want to be the influencer or the coach who shows up and does live streams, we want to have the beliefs and the identity that we can do it, that we can show up, that we can impact lives, that we can attract clients, right? We want to have that identity because that's going to change our picture on the inside, which is going to change how we show up, which is going to change our behavior, which is going to change the results that we have, right? It's your confidence and it's your feelings and it's your emotion that pretty much control if you're going to attract that client or not, if you're going to make that change in that person's lives or not. So it's really important to understand that whatever is going on the inside is going to reflect exactly what happens on the outside, okay? Nada saying, does location matter when it comes to our energy? At times I feel like Miami brings me down since it's a business city and I don't feel no inspo here. Yeah, I personally, when I go to different places, I feel a different energy. When I went to Sedona, I was there last week. Holy crap, it was magical. I felt an energy. And guys, like usually I travel and I come home and I'm like, cool, I'm home. I'm happy to be home. When I came back from Sedona, I'm like, oh my God, I want to go back. Like literally, it was so cool there. And it's such an energetic like center. There's all these vortexes around that actually kind of suck in the energy. And you can see when you look at the clouds, the patterns of the clouds are being kind of sucked in to these certain different energy vortexes. So I totally believe, Nada, that, and I'm not going to really get into energy today too much. I'm going to talk about that more on day 5, so tune in for day 5. But I totally believe in the energy of different places, and if you're an empath like me, not only are you attracting the energy of the town or the city or the state that you're in, you're also attracting the energy of the people around you. So I live in a beautiful condo. However, I live in a condo and there are people who live on each side. So without me even knowing who these people are, remember how I said that your brain and your heart is like a radio station? The people who live around me are giving off an energy, and I'm attracting that energy in, whether I like it or not. That's why I do cord cutting meditation. So cord cutting meditations is when you ask your guides to help you cut the cord of anyone who might be attracted to you. And this is actually really important to do if you're a coach, because when you work with people on a deep level, they're actually creating an esoteric cord between you and them. And if it's a draining person who doesn't feel like they can generate their own energy, they will continue to drain your energy long after the session. This also, even if you're not a coach, this does apply to you, because if you have a draining person in your life, maybe a friend or a boyfriend or a girlfriend or a mom or whatever, if you have someone in your life who's really draining, after you have a conversation with them, or even if they're just thinking of you, they can create an esoteric cord in between you and them that is draining your energy. And so if you're like waking up in the morning and you're feeling super tired and you don't know why, that's probably why, because there's someone out there that's draining your energy. How I actually discovered this, by the way, guys, I have a course on this too, and I'm having a flash sale for it. So if you sign up at yesapply.co/elevate, and then you go to the thank you page, the thank you page has a flash sale that you can get a course for only $27 that has all of my favorite meditations, techniques, routines that help you ground your energy and protect your energy, which is super, super, super essential. Like, I'm not even saying like it's a good thing to do. It's like you must, or I believe you must do it if you're an empath. So it shows you how to ground your energy, how to protect your energy, so that when you go into the world, you're not feeling bombarded with everyone else's thoughts and with everyone else's energy. You have your own protection bubble. And it also shows you how to cut the cords. So like I was saying before, if you have a draining parent, or if you have a draining, person in your life, boyfriend, girlfriend, cousin, whatever it is, you can cut those cords. And how I actually discovered this was because I'm very in tune with my energy. I've always been very in tune with my energy. I've always been very in tune with my spirit guides. And there was an experience that I had where I had a very negative person in my life. And that person and I kind of cut ties. And then for months after, I felt this like heartache, but I wasn't sad about the situation. So I was like, what is going on with my freaking energy? And I started just researching and asking in groups and signing up for programs and trying to figure it out. And finally someone told me about cord cutting, and I was like, thank you. And I'm very intuitive too. So as soon as I heard about this, I was like, that's what I need. And I started doing cord cutting. And I bought meditations, I looked up a ton of free ones on YouTube, and they were getting me closer, but I didn't quite find the perfect one. And then what I did was I kind of cherry picked all my favorite things from all the best ones that I found, and I created my own meditation that for me works amazingly. And my clients who've used it find that it works amazingly. I have one client in particular who, she had a very draining family, and she was sleeping in every day because they were just draining her energy. And after she did this meditation, the cord cutting meditation, she started waking up at 6 a.m. because she no longer had those cord cuts. And now, a few months after, sorry, my battery is getting low. But by the way, guys, if you're on Instagram, my battery is getting low, just head over to Facebook. You can watch the rest there. Even though it's plugged in, just sometimes when I do lives, it doesn't charge properly. So anyway, after she did the cord cutting meditation, she started waking up at 6 a.m. So that's something that I do. And then also, if you're an empath, carrying selenite is a really great crystal to have. And I'm actually going to be sending out a selenite crystal. It's not going to be this big. It's actually going to be kind of like this size. That I got in Sedona though. So hell yeah, it's going to have some really great energy on it. And so it's really great to have a selenite wand before and after your sessions. And what you guys can do is just go like this and kind of cleanse your aura, because this particular crystal, it does not absorb any negative energy. So keep it with you for your coaching sessions. And then also you can kind of just go like this, whoop, after your sessions and just kind of cleanse your aura. And it's a really great thing to have. And I always feel really uplifted after I do it. So guys, if I'm sharing some really great tips with you that you are loving, that you're thinking are helping you, or that you think are helping someone else in your life, I would super appreciate if you would tell a friend about it or share it. I'm sharing, like, the stuff that I'm sharing right now, I wish that I knew when I was in like elementary school. Honestly, I don't think I would have been as low confidence, as shy, as low self-esteem if I had known that I was in control of my own mind and if I knew the power of my subconscious mind. So I would so appreciate if you would share this, because it might just get in front of someone who needs it. And chances are, if you follow me, you're already spiritual, you're already into personal development, you're already into coaching, and so you have some amazing tools. But there's so many people out there that are completely blind to this stuff. They don't know that they can be in control of their own emotions. They don't know that they can change their life. They don't know about manifestation. They don't know that they can shift at any moment. So from you sharing this, it might get into the hands of someone who really needs it. So I would really appreciate if you would share it. And I still have a lot more content to go. And I always plan for these things to be so much shorter than they are. And we're coming up on an hour. Nate is saying I'm the best. Thank you. You're amazing. Abby is saying that's so cool. I tried a variation of cord cutting with politics and just letting go of any negative emotions, choosing to replace with compassion. It's been such a great practice for me. A great thing to do, Abby, actually, is when you walk down the street, just send people love. Feels really good. Helps you connect. Thank you, Chudney, for sharing. You're an angel. I love you. Okay, so let me continue forward. Me and my tangents. Anyone who's in my group coaching program knows that I have my tangents, and that's just the way it is. All right. So, what time is it? 6, 7? Okay. So, where do these patterns filters the way we see the world and where it comes from? So why do we have repeating patterns? Let me just look at the time right now. Did I start this too early? Actually, it doesn't really matter now because we've already been going for an hour, and I'm probably going to keep going. Let me just look at the time. Oh, look at that. I started early. Well, you guys are going to have a lot more content to watch. So, sorry about that. So why do these patterns, filters repeat, and why do we see the world the way we see it? So we want to understand, why do people have repeating patterns? A big reason why we have repeating patterns is because it's in our energy field. So we picked up these patterns from the ages of 0 to 7. Okay, I talked about that. Elizabeth's in my group coaching. She knows about my tangents. Okay, so we picked up our patterns from the ages of 0 to 7. We picked it up from some of those first stories that we heard about. We picked it up like way before. Sometimes we picked it up even before we were in the womb, right? So I know for me, I picked up a lot of negative emotions, a lot of limiting decisions, a lot of negative limiting beliefs before I was even born. And the reason why I know that is because when I was doing time techniques, which is sort of a Nlp technique, a lot of the negative emotions that I was holding on to actually came from before I was born. Okay, it actually came from before I was born. So when I recognized why I was feeling, fear of rejection, why I was feeling negative, why I was feeling whatever, it actually came from like when I was in the womb or before I was born. It actually helps. It can actually come from a past life or generational. And depending on how spiritual or woo-woo you are, you believe that. But the other day, I helped somebody with a phobia. And a lot of times, if people have a really interesting phobia, it's not from this lifetime. A lot of the time, if people have a really kind of one time I met someone who was afraid of cheese. Okay, the person who I helped the other day clear a phobia had a phobia of something that you would never usually be afraid of. And I'm not gonna kind of put them out there, but let's pretend it's a turtle. I would categorize this thing in the same category that I would categorize a turtle. Okay, so why is someone afraid of a turtle? Why is it that someone, when they see a turtle, they jump before they even have before their conscious mind can even react, their subconscious mind jumps? I believe that that's from a past life. And when I went back and helped this person clear this phobia, it actually came from a past life. Okay? So and what happens is from the past life, from the stories that our parents are telling themselves, from the things that our parents are saying out loud, they're actually imprinting those into our mind. Okay? I know for me, I, for a long time, struggled with a really negative money story. So I used to find it really hard when I used to work at a job. I used to find it really hard to ask for a raise. When I used to work a 9 to 5, I found it really hard to talk about money. I remember too, like if I was going out for dinner with friends, we had to split the bill. I'd feel super awkward about splitting the bill, or I'd feel like I had to pay it all because, like, I don't know, I wasn't good enough or something. Weird stuff. And then even when I first started my business, before I discovered wealth consciousness, before I discovered money mindset, I had a hard time charging for things. So I would help people out. I know there's a lot of coaches that deal with this right now too. I would help people out. I would give people advice. I would spend a day with someone or an evening with someone, helping them achieve some sort of goal. And when they wanted to pay me, I'd be like, no, it's okay. You don't have to pay me. Why is that? Right? Why is it that some people, money comes so easy to them, and with some people it's hard for them to talk about, it's hard for them to accept it, they don't feel like they're good enough for money? The reason for that is because of the money story that's been imprinted in your mind from ages 0 to 7, or maybe even before that. And so what I did was actually, to discover this, is I did a hypnosis regression. And so our subconscious mind a lot of the time is going to repress things that we haven't dealt with. So consciously, you might not remember the reason why it's really hard for you to talk about money, or it's really hard for you to accept money, or whatever that is. But your subconscious mind remembers everything. And so I did a regression, and I went all the way back to the root cause of, like, why was it so hard for me to talk about money? Why was it so hard for me to ask for more money, or whatever it is? And when I went all the way back, I remembered my childhood bedroom. Like, consciously, I could not remember my childhood bedroom. But when I went back, I remembered, like, the bedspread. I remembered the color the wall was. I remember the posters on the wall. I remember the toys on the floor. Like, I remembered it all. And when I asked myself, what is my first memory of money? My first memory of money was actually of anger, of tension. So I grew up in a single parent household. And so my first memories of money is my mom being super pissed off at my dad that he hadn't paid child support, right? And so because of that, I grew up thinking that if I ask for money, there's going to be tension. If I talk about money, it's going to be a fight. If I bring up the subject of money, people are going to hate me. I actually consciously remember thinking if I asked for a raise or whatever it is, people are going to hate me. So guys, I actually started early, which is fine because I love talking about this stuff. So for anyone who is new joining, I just want to say hello. First off, I want to start off by reminding you that this is the Elevate Your Coaching Sessions Challenge. So first off, you can go back to the beginning after, and you can watch from the very beginning. I talked about a lot of stuff. This is going to be a great thing to kind of listen in the background on your drive, pretend it's a podcast, or as you're tidying up or whatever. And it's really good to understand these principles of the subconscious mind. Also, now that you're here, I would love for you to share with me, if you're a coach, if you're a healer, if you're a practitioner, what it is that you do. And if you're just starting out, that's okay. We were all just starting out at some point or another. So just share with me what you're starting out, what it is that you want to build, and then I can kind of cater the live stream based on what it is that you're working towards. And I'm super excited to support you. And also, there's going to be a really exciting prize. So at the end of the week, I'm going to pick one person who shows up every day, who does the homework, who is engaging, is commenting, is liking, is posting emojis, all that. The person who's pretty much the most enthusiastic about the subconscious mind, because I'm pretty freaking enthusiastic about the subconscious mind. And whoever it is that I pick, you are going to get a Yes Supply mug. So this is one of my Yes Supply mugs. Actually, I have a ton of Yes Supply mugs. You can choose whatever one you want. They're really cute and inspiring to drink out of. You're also going to get a little crystal like this. It's not this exact one, but it's a crystal just like this, and it's going to be a selenite crystal. And I just talked about selenite crystals, and they're great to help you cleanse your energy, protect your energy. So you're going to get one of those, and it's actually one that I got when I was in Sedona, which is a super high energy place. And you're also going to get a book recommendation from me. So I read a lot of books. And I'm essentially going to ask you what is it that you're working on, and I'm going to give you a specific book recommendation based on what you're working on. And if you're watching on Instagram and my phone dies, just head on over to Facebook and also sign up at yesapply.co/elevate, because that's the only way that you're going to be able to get the homework to participate in the challenge, okay? I'm going to just link that right here. So I'm super excited, so leave me a comment. Everyone's joining. Also, I'm sharing a lot of deep stuff about the subconscious mind that most people don't know. If you're a coach, if you're in the personal development industry, you probably know this stuff. Not this stuff, but you probably know a lot of tools to help you with your personal development, with working on your subconscious mind, with thinking positively. Hi, Ashley. But most people in the world don't. And I can tell you that my life would have been completely different if I had known this stuff from the very beginning. So you will actually be helping a lot of people if you just hit the share button, because this could actually get in front of someone who really needs it. And I know a lot of the time I'll be like praying, asking for an answer, manifesting, and then the perfect person or situation or answer or whatever will come into my life. And oh, my Instagram just ended. Let me just start it over again. Hold on, guys. Bear with me. And in the meantime, you can just help me by sharing. I think it ended because I was live for an hour. Okay, we're going to be back. Okay, so my Instagram live just ended because it was an hour. So we're just going to start over. So anyway, hi Kai, thanks for sharing. Hi Abby, thank you for sharing. Abby's saying, I'm an online business owner and I'm currently developing coaching programs and online courses around alignment, intuitive living, and joyful living. Super, super cool. I'm so excited. If anyone wants to watch on Facebook, that's where the whole recording is going to be. So head over there. So let me keep going. A lot of content. Super excited. So why do these patterns, filters, and the way we see the world repeat? The reason why these things repeat is because 95% of our thoughts every single day are repeated. And the majority of our thoughts are negative. And so if you keep thinking negative thoughts, the next day you're going to wake up and you're just going to keep thinking those negative thoughts. And so if you want your life to change for the better, if you want to see a different outcome, then what you need to make sure that you do is you need to break that pattern. If you've ever watched Tony Robbins, you can see, thank you for sharing, Melinda. If you've ever watched Tony Robbins, you can see how he breaks people's patterns. And how he breaks people's patterns is by kind of a shock factor. So you'll notice sometimes if someone comes up to him and they have like a negative thing to say about themselves, or they're feeling doubtful or whatever, they don't believe in themselves, he will make fun of them. He will say a joke. He'll say something mean. He'll shock them, whatever. And that's breaking a pattern, because everything happens in cycles. Our thought patterns repeat in cycles. And so if we're feeling bad about something, it's going to keep repeating until we break that pattern. If you think about it like a train going on a train track, and we kind of just got to switch that train track, okay? So if you have a certain pattern, you want to try and break that pattern, and you can do that by just kind of making fun of it, being like, oh my God, I'm afraid to do live streams. Why? Like, I can literally just delete it after. There's 1,000 people doing live streams. It's going to be totally okay. Hi, Ashley. Thanks for joining. Okay. So, and now I want to get into the best way to change people, right? So if you're working with your clients, if you're a healer, if you're a practitioner, and you want to help your clients change on a deep level, and you want to make it a long-term change. I talked about this at the very beginning of the live stream, but how we help people change for the long term is by helping people change on an identity level. Okay, so there's a whole bunch of different levels of change that people usually go through to change their life. And most people try to change on a behavior or an environment level. So for example, they say, I want to go to the gym. So I'm just going to lay out my gym clothes the night before and put a water bottle beside my bed, and I'm going to go. But because the behavior level is such a low level of the mind, it's not permanent, right? Our mind can only kind of handle 7 things at once. We can only really balance 7 things at once. And so maybe at the very beginning, you can be like, yep, I'm going to the gym. You're thinking about it consciously. You feel really good about it. That might work for like a week or two. But as soon as you get busy, as soon as there's something new on your calendar, as soon as you get a little bit stressed out, as soon as there's a new Netflix show, as soon as your friends ask you to go out for movies, what's going to happen is your 7 areas that you can make decisions, your 7 chunks are going to get filled up. And what's going to happen is when those things get filled up, then that first priority that you have is going to kind of drop off the side. All right. And so if you want to help create a more permanent change, then you want to move up the ladder. Instead of just trying to change on an environment level or on a behavioral level, you want to actually move right up to the identity level. This is Roberta saying, this is totally me. Okay. I'm glad you're here, Roberta, because this is going to help you a lot. And I'm going to share with you what I did. So I can tell you that when I first started Yes Supply, I felt like I was spinning my gears, and I knew that I had a message to share. And I know there's a lot of coaches that are feeling the exact same way. I knew that I had a message to share. I had overcome a lot of different things in my life. I had changed a lot of different things in my life, and I wanted to help more people. But my identity was someone who played small. My identity was someone who was afraid to speak up. My identity was someone who was afraid to take up space. And because of that, it was like hitting my head against a brick wall trying to show up. And one day I had this epiphany. If I want to be the founder of this successful platform that inspires thousands of people, that changes lives, that puts out the best content in the world for mindset and energy, then I can't be that old person. I need to be that better version of me. I need to be that more successful version of me. And so what I decided to do, Chakra Goddess is saying, I am playing small. No more of that. You were born a beautiful light, and you get to make the decision to continue to be that beautiful light. So what I did, Angela's also saying playing small. So we need to work on your playing small, guys. Hang out with me this week because I'm going to give you a lot of really great tips that are going to work for you and are going to work great for your clients too. So what I did was I decided, okay, well, who is the type of person who runs the type of business and coaching platform and changes lives? What kind of impact do they have, and what kind of personality traits do they have? What kind of character traits do they have? And I designed my own like Sasha Fierce. I don't know if any of you guys know, but Beyonce for a long time had like Sasha Fierce, because Beyonce was kind of like shy and meek and humble, and on stage she had to be this like fiery, sassy, like entertainer woman. So she created a persona, Sasha Fierce. So I created my own persona, okay? And honestly, like, it sounds kind of crazy, but it will change your life so much. Sam Ovens talks about this too, which is kind of cool. Ashley's saying, yes, Sasha. By the way, guys, thank you so much for sharing. If you know anyone who needs this, if you know anyone who's playing small, who needs some help, hit the share button. I would totally appreciate this getting into the hands of more people. I wish that I knew this stuff when I was growing up and feeling really bad about myself. So I asked myself, what are the kind of personality traits of the type of person who owns a successful platform that I want to have, right? And so I wrote it down. I was like, okay, well, she would be confident. Like, literally, you could grab your journal and you could do it right now. She would be confident. She would be bold. She would speak before being spoken to. Guys, I used to have the toughest time. Like, I'd be in a meeting at my old job, and I would have like an idea, and I'd be like, oh my God, that's such a great idea. And whenever I would go to say the idea, I would just like feel so much fear, right? Like thinking that everyone was gonna like laugh. Like no one's gonna point and laugh at you if you share your idea at a meeting, but like that's what was going on in my head, right? So I came up like, she's gonna be confident, she'd believe in herself, she would speak before being spoken to, she would be generous, she would have a presence, she would commit to helping others, she wouldn't be so much in her head and worry about how she looks, she would think more about how can I help someone else, how can I impact others, how can I create great content. And so I wrote down kind of my own Sasha Fierce. Thank you for sharing, Dawn and Annie and Nada. You guys are all so freaking lovely. I love you so much. I wrote all these things down. And then I decided, okay, every single day I'm going to implement one of these things, right? And so what I would do is like in that meeting where I used to be scared and play small and shy and not say what I thought, I would just be like, oh, that's my idea. Or I would just start giving advice and not really care so much if like what people would think about me. And the thing is, every single day I picked up on a new trait, and I committed to myself that I was gonna carry forward and do one new trait, one new thing to embody my Sasha Fierce. And before I knew it, that identity that seemed so far away, that seemed so unattainable, that seemed so hard to get to, became me. To the point that I can walk into any room and feel at home. And for me, saying that is like a huge deal, because I grew up, I got made fun of a lot. I was like pretty much like the only colored person at my school. So I always felt like really awkward and different. And what was the other thing I was going to share with you? Oh yeah. My mom was in a really abusive relationship, which really fucks with your subconscious mind, really fucks with everything. And essentially, I had just had so many negative things about me. You're not good enough. You're stupid. You messed this up. You messed that. Going around and repeat in my head. And anyone who's been in a negative situation like that, a negative relationship, had a mean friend, whatever it is, you can relate to that, right? Annie's saying act as if, 100% act as if. So knowing now that I can walk into any room and feel confident. A few weeks ago, I went to this mastermind with all these like super successful entrepreneurs, like literally like $50 million plus entrepreneurs, and also like a group of like all men except 3 women, which used to intimidate the heck out of me. Like, guys, I used to not go to the gym because I was afraid of the part of the gym where like all the guys hung out. And so for me to walk into that room and feel completely confident and strike up conversations, that means I had a massive shift. Okay. So I created that Sasha Fierce and I embodied it, and I picked up a new character trait every single day. And then when I learned NLP, which is neuro-linguistic programming, which I'm going to be sharing with you more about this week, so definitely tune in for the rest of this series. Learning things like the swish pattern, which helps you kind of step into an identity on a deeper level, literally has completely shifted my life. And I was listening to someone the other day who said, the successful version of you is not going to be who you are now. And I can tell you, I'm not the same person that I was before. And my fiance, he's more successful now. He's not the same person that he was. We were just talking about this the other day. And so when you become the most successful version of yourself, you're not going to be the same person that you are now. You're going to be the person that you were always meant to be. Okay? And so when I wrote down all those character traits of being confident and speaking before being spoken to and feeling good in any situation and having a presence, I wasn't faking it. I was writing down all the things that I really wanted for myself. And the reason why I really wanted it for myself was because that's actually the person that I was always meant to be. So when you step into that person that you're always meant to be, you're not faking it. You're actually peeling away all of the negative programming, all of the people who say that you're supposed to be a certain way, or you're supposed to play smaller, you're supposed to hide yourself, or you're not supposed to shine your light, or you're not supposed to make other people jealous, or you're not supposed to be too good at what you do. What you're doing when you step into the person that you're meant to be is you're being everything that you were always meant to be, and it feels fucking amazing. Okay, so I really encourage you to write down. Someone is spamming me so hard on Instagram. He's saying Rolla, and I don't know why, but I'm just gonna hide him. I'm on a roll, man. All right, so yeah, okay, cool. So you're gonna be a completely different person, and it's gonna feel amazing because you're gonna feel free. You're gonna feel free. I remember now, this literally just popped into my head. I remember now, I used to always have to think about what I was about to say before I said it. Like, I would want to say something, and then I'd have to run through, like, how is this person going to react if I say it? I'm like, it was so putting through this barrier of, like, who I actually am. So, hopefully this encourages you, and, yeah. I want you to step into that identity. And so what's going to happen when you step into that identity is, and remember I said the identity is kind of at that top level of the mind, the environment, the behavior is at the bottom, it goes up to capabilities, it goes up to beliefs, and then identity is near the top, spirit is a little bit higher than that. But what happens is when you shift that identity, when you step into your Sasha Fierce, it's going to have a trickle down effect. So if you step into the identity of the healthy you, The trickle down effect is it's going to be natural for you to drink 3 liters of water a day. It's going to be natural for you to go to the gym because that's just who you are, right? You know those people who can roll out of bed at 6 a.m. and just get to the gym and it seems like nothing to them? That's just who they are, right? And so just say you wanted to be identity level, it has a trickle down effect of course I'm confident on stage. Of course I'm confident of stage. Of course I say everything that I meant to say. Of course the right ideas come to me whenever I need them. Guys, I actually prepared a lot for this webinar, or for this, it's not a webinar, for this live, but in times where I have to do a live and I do not prepare, all I do is I close my eyes for like 2 seconds and I just ask Spirit, what is it that I need to say? And I trust that whatever channels through me is exactly what needs to be said, and the right thing always comes right through me because I trust. Okay, so when you step into the identity, it doesn't matter what situation you're in, you'll be able to trust yourself, you'll be able to trust your spirit, you'll be able to trust a divine energy, a higher power, and that whatever you need to do or be in that moment will come through you fully. And the same thing will happen too when you start working with coaching clients. A lot of new coaches ask me, what if they ask me something that I don't know? Or what if I don't know you don't have to know all the answers. Just trust that at the right time, the right thing will flow through you, because it always does when you let down your guard and you let down your shield and you just allow the right things to flow through you. It will, I promise you. Okay, so I think I talked about that. We want to shift on the identity level. I'm going to be talking about that more on day 3, I believe. We're going to be going into some NLP techniques, so stay with me. If you have not signed up yet to get the homework, head to yesapply.co/elevate, because that's where you're going to get all the juicy homework, and it's going to be really good, not just for your clients, but also for you. I'm like my own best client. Like sometimes if I'm feeling a little off, I'll just sit down and I'll do like a little technique on myself. And it's just like such a game changer. So like first off, you want to be your own best client. And I'm just going to pin it's not letting me. I'm just going to pin the topic. All right, so let's keep going. So the next thing that you want to do to have a powerful coaching session with your clients and also for yourself is you want to move your clients into cause. So how many people think that life is happening to them, right? How many people think like, oh my God, like my boss hates me and I'm not making enough money and it's my parents' fault because they never made enough money, and I've never been techie and it's my grandma's fault because she's not really good with the iPhone. And most people blame everything on the outside world because most people live in affect. One really cool thing that we learn in NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, is that we are at cause for everything in our life. And as you learn more about energetic principles and manifestation, you understand even more that you are at cause for every single thing that happens in your life. So what you want to do as soon as you start working with a client is you want to move them to cause. You want to help them realize that they are at cause for every single thing that happens in their life, and that's an empowering thing. And the reason why that's empowering is because if you believe that everything that happens to you is because of something external, then how is everything going to change? Your whole life is going to be left to chance, right? It's going to be like, well, I hope that the other person does the other thing and I get the receive the thing and so it can happen for me. That's that's gambling with your life, right? So we as coaches, we want to first off understand that we are at cause. If you're not seeing the clients that you want, you're at cause. If your website isn't up yet, you're at cause. If you are not having successful sessions, whatever it is, you are at cause. It's up to you to educate yourself or to learn more or to get certified in coaching or whatever it is. We also want to pass that down to our clients, okay? We want to help our clients understand that they are at cause, because you can be the best coach in the world, but if they're not willing to do the work, if they're not willing to take the shift, if they're not willing to do the inspired action, they're not going to see the results. And you as the coach, you can't want it more for them than they want it. You need to meet them at the same level. It's a co-creation process. You're co-creating with them, they're co-creating with the universe. And so one of the first things that you want to do when you start working with your clients is you want to remind them that they are at cause for everything in their life, and this can be the best coaching package that they ever signed up for, but they need to go all in. They need to do the work. They need to do things that they've never done before. They need to move beyond what scares them. Okay? So help them understand that you know, you can have reasons or you can have results. And we want to help our clients create those results, okay? So if you're agreeing with me, leave me some hearts. I would love that. Just leave me some hearts and that would make me feel super happy. Let me move on to the next thing. Thank you guys so much for the hearts. And okay, cool. So now what I want to talk to you about, so now they know that they're a cause. Now they know that they need to shift their identity. And another cool thing, and this kind of ties into manifestation. I'm not really talking about manifestation today. Another really cool thing is helping your clients understand that they can feel anything that they want at any time. So if they're about to do something that they've never done before, maybe they're about to do a live stream and they're like, oh my God, I'm freaking out. Or maybe they're about to do a webinar and they're like, oh my God, I'm freaking out. Or maybe they're about to speak on stage, or maybe they're about to write I remember I used to be afraid to write emails and write blog posts because I was like, oh my God, what are people going to think to me? So what I want you to do is help your clients get into whatever emotion that they want at any time. And this is so helpful. The other day I was out with one of my friends and she wasn't feeling so good. And I just quickly used this little technique on her and it made her feel so much better. So what you can do for yourself, maybe before a coaching call, if you're feeling a little anxious, or what you can do with your clients is help them get into whatever emotion that they want at any time. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So you can follow along with me. And what we're going to do is we're going to help our clients feel excited. I'm going to help you feel excited and you can pass this on to your client. So just say you're getting your client to do something they've never done before. Maybe ask for a raise or, you know, tell that stupid boyfriend that she's not dating him anymore or whatever it is, okay? And they're feeling really nervous and you want to help them feel excited, right? Because I love to channel my nervousness and my fear into excitement. I'm going to walk you through a technique right now that's going to help you feel excited, and then you can pass this along to whoever you want. And don't worry, you don't have to just use it for excitement. You can use it for any emotion you want. So what I want you to do is just close your eyes, take a nice deep breath in. Karma is saying, loving this so far. Thank you, Karma. I started an hour early, so go back and watch the beginning of it. So anyway, take a nice deep breath, and what I want you to do is think about the last time that you were really excited. Okay, so just close your eyes and think back to a time when you were really, really excited. Picture a specific time, okay? Can you picture a specific time when you were feeling super, super excited about something? Maybe something cool really happened, you got surprised, people showed up at your door, something really awesome happened, you made more money, you were just like, oh my God, you were so excited, okay? So what I want you to do is think of that one specific time when you were super excited. Now what I want you to do, now that you have that super specific time when you're feeling amazingly excited, is I want you to float down into your body so you're looking through your own eyes. Look around as you're in that experience where you're super freaking excited, okay? See what you see, feel what you feel, hear what you heard when you were super duper incredibly excited. And now what you can do, if you want to anchor that emotion, is you can just pick a finger or pick a little knuckle, and as you're feeling that super amazing feeling of excitement, you can just hold that down for 15 seconds as you're feeling super duper amazingly incredibly excited. And then when you're ready, you can just let go of that. And so what I know, I felt very excited. Let me know if you just did that and you felt really excited. So what I just did, I kind of went a little bit more advanced, was I showed you how at any moment you can feel any emotion. And also, if you followed along with me with the anchor, with pressing on your knuckle, is we actually anchored your knuckle for feeling really excited. So let me know if you guys followed along and felt excited. Ashley's saying, I'm fired up. Ashley, I know you do a lot of live streams, so you can do this before our live streams, and you're probably always super high vibe on your live streams, so you can feel even more high vibe if you do this before. So it's a really, really cool technique. Elizabeth is also feeling super excited. So you can do that for anything. So if you're about to do a public speaking, you can do it to feel confident. If you're, I don't know, you can just use it for anything. I think I'm now too excited that I don't know how I'm going to continue on because my brain is just like buzzing, which is fine. Nada's saying she's feeling really excited. Guys, I should never do this again on a live stream. My brain is legit buzzing right now. Okay. Cool. So let's keep going. So we're about to wrap up actually. So this is great timing. So what I want you to actually remember before I move on to is a great thing to remember about the subconscious mind. There's a whole bunch of things that your subconscious mind does. One of the main things that your subconscious mind does, one of the main reasons why it exists, is to protect you, okay, to keep you safe. Your subconscious mind actually has a blueprint of your body in its most perfect, healthiest form, and it's doing everything that it can to keep you in that place, okay? So if you're ever, not doing a live stream or not writing an email or not going after the thing that you want to do because of fear, that is just your subconscious mind trying to keep you safe, because it's like, you've never done that thing before. Do we know it's safe? Are you going to be able to eat? Blah, 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 right? That is just your subconscious mind. So just remember, sometimes when you feel a physical response to not wanting to do something and it's fear, it's just your subconscious mind trying to keep you safe. And you can do some of the exercises, some of the tools that I shared with you today to remind your subconscious mind, no, it is safe for me to do this thing. It is safe for me to write this blog post. It is safe for me to get this client. It is safe for me to ask for more money. It is safe for me to show up in the world, okay? Remind your subconscious mind that. If you're liking this, if you agree with me, leave me some hearts, let me know. And also, another important thing that I want to share about the subconscious mind before we sign off, and by the way, guys, whoever shows up the most, writes the most comments, leaves the most hearts, leaves the most likes, is going to win the prize at the end of the week. On Facebook only. I cannot check on Instagram, so head over to the Facebook to do that, facebook.com/YesSupply, or sign up at the link right here on Instagram so you can check it. So what I want you to remember is that the subconscious mind takes everything personally. And this is really important, because if you find yourself judging other people, maybe you are making fun of someone else, right, for not being as good as you, or maybe someone has gotten way more successful than you ever anticipated, and you're judging them because they're successful. Or maybe someone has a really fancy car and you're like they probably have rich parents. I'm just like saying, your subconscious mind takes everything personally. So if you are sending negativity out to someone who's more successful than you, or if you're saying something mean about someone else or whatever, your subconscious mind actually thinks that you're saying that about yourself. So it's very important to make sure that your word is impeccable. I learned that from a book, Four Agreements. Make your word impeccable. Try to only say positive things about other people, and you'll make that more positive in your life. And when you work with your clients too, remind them to stay positive, remind them to only see the bright side in other people, remind them to respect and love other people, and that's actually going to help them strengthen their love and respect in themselves. Okay, so that was a lot. If you came in late, you can head to facebook.com/YesSupply and you can watch the whole replay. And believe me, it was some amazing stuff that you've probably never heard before that's going to help you harness your subconscious mind, harness your thoughts, harness your emotions. And if you're a coach, a healer, a practitioner, this is going to help you get much, much deeper in your sessions and help your clients a lot faster. We're going all week, so you can come back tomorrow, and I'm going to have another session for you. So today we talked about how your internal programs shape what you see in the world outside and cause you to create opportunities or obstacles for yourself. And so whatever's happening on the inside is what you're going to see on the outside. We also talked about what the root causes of all patterns are and how to identify them. So we talked about how the root cause is usually from ages 0 to 7, or maybe even before that. We talked about the power of moving to cause. So how you are at cause for everything in your own life, and also showing your clients how they're at cause for everything that's happening in their own life, and how it's going to help you have more powerful sessions and help them have better results, and how manifestation works and the power for you and your clients to create their yes in life, right? So remember that your mind, your heart, is like a radio signal sending out vibes to the rest of the world of whatever it is that you want. So you get to choose how you feel, and you get to choose what you focus on, and that's actually sending out a signal to the rest of the universe to bring that back to you, and you create it in your physical reality. And what I actually believe is that you are the center of your own universe, right? We're all all living in this shared space, and whatever you are creating for yourself is what you're seeing in your physical reality. So if you're choosing to see negativity, if you're choosing to see reasons to be a victim, that's all that's going to show up in your life. If you're choosing to see opportunities, if you're choosing to see, you know what, I am smart enough, and I am good enough, and I am, I can help people, and I can stand out, and I can be an awesome coach, or I can be an influencer. If you're looking for all those reasons why you can, and you're focusing on those, even more of that is going to show up in your life. And that is true because of what I just showed you about your internal programs and your reticular activating system. So remember, whoever shows up the most this week, who likes and comments and hangs out with me and shares, you are going to get my little prize that I created valued at $100. You're going to get a Yes Supply mug just like this. You'll be able to choose whatever one you want, but I think this one is particularly cute. You're going to get a Selenite Crystal that I brought home from Sedona, which has super amazing energy. And you're going to get a book recommendation based on whatever your goals are. So here's your homework. So write down your homework. If you're not signed up to the challenge, if you're signed up for the challenge, you're actually going to get the homework delivered right to your inbox as a super special service for you. So what I want you to do is I want you to write down some of the limiting beliefs that you might be telling yourself. So I talked about some of my own limiting beliefs that came from my childhood that I didn't even realize were there. So if you notice something in your life that you're kind of negative about, or you feel like you're holding yourself back, I want you to ask yourself, what is my first experience with this, right? When I asked myself, what is my first experience with money? It was an experience of tension. What is that for you? Ask yourself, because you might actually be able to bring up and recognize something that you never noticed before. So go back to that very first memory that you have and figure out what some of your internal programs are, what some of your internal beliefs are, what some of the things that you are feeling or believing are, right? That's going to help you so much. And once you know how to do this for yourself, you're going to be able to be so much more powerful with that for your clients, right? Like I told you before, I am my own first client. So whenever I notice that maybe I'm holding myself back, or I have a limiting decision, or I have a limiting emotion, I literally grab my NLP book, my Neuro Linguistic Practitioner book, and I do a technique on myself, and it always helps me, okay? What I also want you to do, once you've figured out what some of your internal programs are, so what some of your limiting beliefs are, or limiting decisions, what I want you to do is write them out so that you understand how they're affecting you in the world. And then I want you to write out the exact opposite. So if you happen to write out, it's really hard for me to make money, what I want you to do is I want you to write out, get a new piece of paper, and I want you to write out the opposite. So I want you to write out, it's really easy for me to make money. If you happen to write out that you have to keep playing small, that's one of your limiting beliefs. What I want you to do on a fresh piece of paper is I want you to write out, no, I'm allowed to take up space, I'm allowed to have presence. Once you've written down all your negative limiting beliefs, burn it, flush it down the toilet, rip it up into tiny little pieces, get rid of that. Once you've written it out, you have all this negative energy in it, and I want you to get rid of that. And then the new piece of paper that you have, I want you to keep that because we're going to be using it this week. But what you can do in the meantime is use those new positive affirmations. So because they're the opposite of the negative thoughts that you had, use those as affirmations, repeat them to yourself. After 21 days of repeating them to yourself, you actually help them get into your neural pathways. You create, it's called neuroplasticity, which helps your brain kind of shape itself in a different way. So it helps you to have more supporting beliefs and more supporting thought patterns. So you can just repeat those positive things to yourself. We're also going to work, do some homework with those this week. So I'm really excited to share that with you. So today, after today, go back and watch the replay on my Facebook if you missed any of it. Today you should have a very good foundation of how the subconscious mind works, how your mind works, how you form certain beliefs. If you love this so much, I'd super appreciate some hearts. Let me know what you thought. If you have any questions, I'm going to stick around for another 10 minutes, answer any questions. And also, if you think that you have someone in your life who needs this, please hit the share button. I would super appreciate you sharing this with more people. And just because I know that I wish that I came across this kind of information sooner, it would have made some huge changes in my life a lot earlier. And I love you guys so much. So thank you so much for hanging out with me. By the way, this is the Elevate Your Coaching Sessions Challenge. So this is really good for anyone who wants to learn how to harness their energy, how to harness their mindset to have a more successful life. But I'm specifically creating it for coaches, for practitioners, for healers, because I know a lot of you guys are really passionate about changing the world. You really want to help people. You want to change lives. You want to create shifts in people's lives, but you want to have the tools to do that, right? A big reason why I got certified in NLP, in Reiki, in EFT, which is emotional freedom techniques, and hypnotherapy, a big reason why I did that was because I wanted to go deeper with my clients. I knew that having some coaching techniques that I had before, like asking questions, was good, and it was eventually helping them get to the answers, but I wanted to do more than ask questions to help my clients get to the answers on themselves. I wanted to have the tools to help them create change work, to create real change in their life, to help them create those impactful shifts, the kind of shifts that help people quit an addiction super fast, or a food that they're overeating, no longer like that food. Or for me, I used to look in the mirror and think that I was super ugly, and I did a swish technique, which is an NLP technique, and did not feel that way anymore, and it started to feel great. Or one of my followers who actually messaged me the other day, who had been feeling a lot of pain because she had PCOS, PCOS, I don't know how you say it, but and I showed her an NLP technique called the Nlp Spinning Technique. If you're watching this and you're someone who deals with a lot of pain, check out the Nlp Spinning Technique, because a lot of the pain that we're feeling, it's coming from our neurology, right? It's coming because our brain is saying, hey, you feel pain here. And sometimes it's tied to an emotion. So what we can do is we can actually kind of separate that feeling, and we can do the spinning technique, and we can actually feel a lot better. So anyway, I'm going off on a tangent, but I just wish that I knew this stuff a lot earlier than I knew it. And I know a lot of you guys, you want to help your clients on a deeper level. And the only way that you can do that is if you have the actual mindset tools to do that. You can't just guess, like you have to know, right? So either you're channeling that on an intuitive level, or you're learning from a place like this. So thank you guys. This was so much fun. I'm going to be back tomorrow. I think I actually started early today. I was like kind of having a tech thing that was happening, and I didn't know if it was going to work out. And then I just didn't look at the clock and started an hour early, but I had so much fun. So tomorrow I'm going live at 8 p.m. Eastern time. If you're signed up for the challenge, you'll actually get the schedule for the whole week. Wednesday, I'm going live at 6 p.m. Eastern time. Thursday, I'm going live at 7 p.m. Eastern time. Friday, I'm going live at 7 p.m. Eastern time again. Make sure you hang out with me and ask lots of questions, leave lots of comments. You can maybe get one of the prizes. And this was a lot of fun. So let me see on Instagram. So Teach to Inspire says, Reese, this has been so helpful. Thank you as always. Thank you, Tamia, for coming. You're such an amazing client. Hi, Beatrice. Hi, everyone. Thought I saw another question on Instagram. Then I'm going to go over to Facebook. Hi, Alyssa. Okay, cool. I don't think I see any more there. Okay, cool. So let's check out Facebook. Okay. Will I be doing more hypnosis in Good Morning Muse? Yes, there's going to be some more hypnosises coming out. And actually, if you're in the collective is not open right now, but you can go to yessupply.co/collective and sign up for the wait list. And Nida, what I'm actually going to be doing this month in the collective, if you're someone in the collective, is I'm going to be creating some morning and nighttime affirmations. So they're going to be kind of like repeated affirmations in the sound of my voice that are going to help you with different things, with manifesting, with believing more positive things about yourself, from increasing your confidence. You can literally just turn it on and listen to it as you drift off to sleep, or turn it on as you wake up in the morning. And the cool thing is your subconscious mind is the most open to what you feed it first thing when you wake up and right before you go to bed. So these are going to help you a lot. So I'm super excited for them to come out. I will keep you guys posted in the group. Karma is saying yes. Thank you, Karma. Holy crap, 151 comments. There was a lot of people here, and for some reason I can't read any of them. Why is that? Don't you just love when Facebook doesn't let you see any of your comments? Isn't that so awesome? Let me just see. Thank you for everyone who showed up. Thank you for everyone who shared. Chakra Goddess says, I am playing small. You're no longer playing small, Chakra Goddess. Will not allow it. Just play big. People, if you know about chakras, you know some stuff that can really help people. Okay, actually, when I was in Sedona, I had my chakras, had my aura photographed, and it was really cool. Okay, so let's see the comments. Is it going to work? No, it doesn't want to let me. So sorry, guys. I cannot go through the comments and answer the questions, but I'll just read the 4 that I can see because Facebook just is being like how they are. Wow, 15 shares. I love you guys so much. Thank you for sharing. So Nida says, I love chakras. Abby says it's so valuable. Thank you so much, Reese. I've been excited about this all month, and it's so great to be able to participate. Abby, thank you so much for coming. It's so great to have you here. Dawn says thank you. Sue, hi Sue, says this is amazing. Thank you. And what I'm going to do is after I shut this down, I'll just go through the comments quickly in Facebook, because Facebook just doesn't want me to see them all right now. So I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for being here. Do the homework, because it's going to make such a huge difference once you identify any of that stuff that's happening in the subconscious mind that does not need to be there. The majority of our thoughts are happening in our subconscious mind, right? So even if you're consciously saying, I want to manifest this or I want to manifest that, your conscious mind is only 0.004%. Your subconscious mind is everything else, right? So you need to make sure that your subconscious mind is in alignment with what you want to manifest. Kai, sorry if I'm saying that wrong, is saying, how can I sign up? You can sign up at yessupply.co/elevate if you're asking about the challenge. If you're asking about signing up for the collective to get the stuff I just talked about in the collective, that's at yessupply.co/collective, but it's currently closed right now. I will be doing an announcement when it comes back open. I don't know when that will be. Elizabeth says she wants to be aura photographed. I definitely advise it. Okay, guys. Love you so much. Have an amazing evening, and I'm really excited to hang out with you guys tomorrow. Oh, hi, Taylor. Race for saying so helpful for areas in my life, always loving my lives. Thank you. You're such a sweetheart. Okay, great. Bye, everyone. Bye, Wendy.